Hello, everyone. Today I'm your professor. My name is Zane, and we're going to be talking about permanent LRAS. So first, we have to figure out, what does permanent LRAS even mean? Well, permanent LRAS refers to the economy's long-run aggregate supply (LRAS) curve, which represents the economy's potential output when all resources are completely fully employed. It shows the level of output the economy can sustain in the long run when there's no constraints on the factors of production. But what factors actually shift this LRAS curve? Well, imagine LRAS like the economy's maximum speed limit. What can make that speed limit higher permanently? Well, for starters, more workers or better workers. If we have more people working or if they're better trained, we can produce more stuff, which is a rightward shift of the LRAS. Again, more tools and skills. Think of it as better factories, better machines, and people with more skills. This boosts how much we can make and produce, which again shifts the LRAS curve to the right. Technological advancements, new tech. When we invent new ways of doing things like better computers or new farming techniques, we can produce way more with the same amount of resources, which is a big rightward shift. More natural resources, discovering new oil fields, or having more fertile land gives us more raw materials to work with, which increases our potential output. Better rules and system changes in institution. If our laws and institutions become more efficient, like making it easier to start a business or protecting property rights, people invest more and we get more output. Basically, these are all examples of the things that permanently expand our economy's capacity to produce. They're not quick fixes, but they're long term. They're long term game changers, not quick. But why does this even matter? So we know that permanent LRAS is about the economy's long term potential, but how does that actually affect or have any matter in our everyday lives? Well, first, living standards. A rightward shift of the LRAS means we can produce more goods and services, which means more stuff for everyone, which translates to higher average incomes and a better standard of living over time. Think about how technology has improved our access to everything, from information to healthcare. That's LRAS at work. Economic growth and stability. When the LRS is growing, the economy is less prone to big, painful recessions. We have more cushion to absorb shocks, and a growing LRS is a sign of a healthy, dynamic economy. And on that same note, which is what policymakers and governments use to track this situation. The importance of policy, governments and central banks, they pay close attention to the factors that shift the LRAS because they know that investing in education, infrastructure, and research can have long-lasting positive effects on our economy's potential. But next, let's talk about long-term versus short-term. So it's so important to remember that the LRAS is about the long haul. Short-term fluctuations in demand or supply don't change the LRAS, but policymakers try to make decisions that will positively affect the LRAS in the future. And then the power of productivity. Ultimately, a growing LRAS is about increasing productivity. Producing more with the same amount of resources is the bread and butter of LRAS. When we find ways to be more efficient, we unlock greater potential for everyone. Essentially, a healthy and expanding LRAS is a foundation for long term economic prosperity. It's not just an abstract concept, it's what drives our improvements and our quality of life. So I hope you took away something from this mini lecture and have a good one. Thank you.